Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I want to do something fun today. Yesterday I was thinking about which actresses that played characters on mainstream TV that I look up to, and maybe you also look up to when it comes to showing up in your business, in your workplace, in your family space. But today's personalities are really based more around corporate, where I am in currently. And I find myself them when I was thinking about these ladies. I was like, you know what, I think I find myself in each of them, but it might be that you find yourself in one personality type. But I'll go through all of them. These are not limited to. You can add your own on the descriptions, and yeah, let me know so I can also just research and maybe even watch that series. So there is this myth in the corporate streets or in the business streets that there's only a certain personality type that kind of is executive or leadership presence, that you always get the feedback, especially having been in corporate for 15 years. You need to have that presence, right? And I was thinking about this. What is that? What does that actually mean? Okay, presence. Okay, I'm there physically. What else do you require me to do? Okay. You want me to shout? You want me to scream? I'm just trying to be very funny about this. But when they say you need to have presence, it does not necessarily mean you need to be loud. You need to, be a know-it-all in the room. It's about showcasing your personality in terms of what you're talking about. You are here because you actually know what you are doing, and this is what you are going to advise or provide insights of. That's what presence is. How you do it, that is basically up to you as a person. How your personality is really up to you. So I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, that would be something fun to do, to share with you some of the characters that we've seen on mainstream TV that maybe you aspire to, maybe you resonate in terms of how you show up, and I want to share with you some of that. So I've written some of notes on my phone, so we'll just go through a few, but this is not limited to, okay? So this is just not for entertainment only, but if you see that it is an entertainment, please do share some build as well. So the question is, which one reflects how you already lead or how you want to lead? Okay, so the first one is Olivia Pope, Kerry Washington, played by Kerry Washington. So Olivia Pope, we meet her in Scandal. In South Africa, they named the show The Fixer because we already had a show called Scandal. So she is not a president. She doesn't have a formal title, but she controls outcomes. If you remember how she moved around people of influence, including the president, people that sit in the president's table, she always influenced outcomes. And she had a fixer mentality. She shows up, she fixes things, she moves on. So I wrote some notes here. Her power comes from having information, timing, and emotional intelligence. She reads the room before she even speaks. She anticipates resistance. So I remember watching one of the episodes, how she would already preempt what maybe would be the reason someone won't say yes or won't give her whatever she wanted at the time. And she had this planned out, so she had answers for that. She had information, she was wise, and she had emotional intelligence. So even when people tried to overstep because of their power or their titles, she had information because she knew what she was talking about. This is the woman who influences systems without needing visible authority, shapes decisions before meetings happen, aligns with stakeholders quietly. Olivia Pope did that quite well. Understands optics, so she knows, she has backstory, she has history, she has insights. Her dad would provide her insights, her colleagues would provide her insights. So she understands the optics and the risk. Have you ever felt like in your role you are not necessarily the person who has the big title, but you control outcome. You're the one that shapes conversations. You're the one that has the information. You're the one that actually has a very high EQ. You know, in corporate we stress about IQ, but more and more as we advance in technologies these days, the most important thing is to have a high EQ. So Olivia Pope was quite a fixer, okay? As the show says, the fixer here in South Africa, she was quite a fixer because she fixed the outcome of every situation. So that's Olivia Pope. Please comment if you are feeling that you are Olivia Pope. I resonate with Olivia Pope to some extent, but I'm not going to say who exactly I aspire to, but I'll keep you guessing. Let's go. And then my favorite one is Jessica Pearson from The Suits, played by Gina Torres. So this lady, my goodness, I don't think necessarily I resonate with her completely, but pockets of her personality in the show, I would say, okay, I have that in me. I have that in me. So we watched Suits. It's about a law firm, and it's about lawyers obviously sorting out cases, and she is the president of this law firm, right? She has a title. She doesn't apologize about having the title. She speaks slowly and calmly. She doesn't over-explain. She doesn't negotiate her authority. Her leadership lesson is simple. When you arrive at the top seat, you must occupy it fully. Do not downplay why you are there. Do not downplay why you even are worthy to be here, you know. No shrinking, no softening, no emotional labor to make others comfortable. You know, sometimes as women, we try to make people feel comfortable even when they are making you uncomfortable. I have done that in my previous life. Well, now I'm still living, but I have try to make people comfortable. So hence why I'm saying maybe I will grow into that Jessica persona, but I remember parts of me where I tend to make people feel comfortable when they were making me uncomfortable. So this is what executive presence looks like when it's embodied, not performed. Jessica Pearson teaches us authority does not need volume, it needs certainty. She was very decisive. One thing I love about her character, she was quite decisive. When the guys used to come into her office, she would hear them out and then provide the next direction or decision. Now, the third lady, my favorite one, Taraji Pearson. She played Cookie in Empire, in Cookie Lyon, okay? She's a disruptor, okay? She's definitely the disruptor. Jessica is the executive authority. Olivia Pope is the strategist. She's the fixer. And now we're talking about Cookie Lyon, played by Taraji Pearson. Taraji Pearson does not mince her words, even in life. But her character, Cookie Lyon, she literally said what everybody was not saying, or what everybody was thinking but was afraid to say. She is loud, she breaks the rules, she's emotional, so she's very in touch with her emotions and she expresses them. She's unapologetically herself, and yet she always got what she wanted. Cookie represents leaders who were never groomed for corporate, right? You know, you always hear about street smart. Cookie was the street smart one. She never looked like the type who went to an Ivy League university or had a very well-to-do background, but she knew how to work the streets, okay? She had a deep business instinct, fearlessness, refusal to be denied, okay? This is important because not every powerful woman will be palatable, okay? Not every powerful woman will be, will look like everybody else in the room. Because sometimes in corporate we tend to look the same, sound the same. But Cookie Lyon was not the same. She was completely unique. Her fashion, her sense of emotion, her knowledge, her business acumen, her knowledge about just the street. She was a disruptor. So if you need someone, and if you are trying to disrupt a certain element in your career or whatever project you might be busy with in your businesses, channel your inner Cookie Lyon, okay? And then the fourth one, she's my favorite, but she is quite deep. Annalise, okay, played by Viola Davis in How Can I Get Away with Murder. She is the intellectual powerhouse, okay? She's giving, even when I watch How to Get Away with Murder, sometimes I will take a break, especially when I'm catching up on the season. I'll take a break. Like, this woman is too wise. She's too intellectual, and she's too deep as well. So she commands a room with her mind, right? Her power is not charm, it's not likability, it's intellectual dominance. She knows more, she prepares deeper, she outthinks everyone. Her story also shows the cost of brilliance, like isolation, pressure, the expectation to always be exceptional. I know some women who, like an Annalise, that I've worked with in my career, and like those women, you want time with them to just get into their minds in terms of how they would approach something. And they're normally quite isolated, not isolated in a way that they are not, you can't find them, but they spend most of their time alone. You won't see them quite busy out there, trying to showcase what they have, who they are. They are the guys who we know that they're there, but you need to actually go seek them out to actually get the best, to get their input, to get their advice, and to get them in a meeting. So are you an Annalise? Let us know. And then the other character that I love is Queen Latifah. She plays an authoritative leader, protective leader in a series called, this series is actually also as a movie. Denzel played this character. So she is the protective leader in the series, and she has more of an authority role, and she often understands and knows systems. So her power is moral, is steady, it's quality driven. This leadership says, I will make the hard decision, but will carry the responsibility and integrity. So she doesn't, Queen Latifah in the series, she doesn't actually just say what she's gonna do. She doesn't just say what she's thinking that everybody wants to hear, but she says and she actually does. And then she also gets a lot of people in her team to rally with her. So she practices what she preaches, and she's quite aware of the systems. So you can't fool her in terms of what is working, what's not working, because she actually knows. So she is quite, she's quite an equalizer. Okay, the show is actually called The Equalizer. Denzel played it in the movie, and there's a series called The Equalizer where Queen Latifah plays and portrays the character. So now the final, what I want to just segue to this, because guys, I wrote some notes and I really want to I don't want to miss anything. Okay, there is no single way to be a powerful person as a woman in the corporate, right? You can be quiet, you can be bold, you can be strategic, you can be disruptive, and you can also be a pocket of each of these, not completely, but just pockets. The danger is trying to copy someone else's personality instead of refining your own authority and personality. Power is not about performance, it's about alignment. Okay, so building influence without the title. If you're watching this, if you are seeking to build influence without the title, maybe watch a bit of The Fixer or The Scandal and see how Olivia Pope did it. If you are somebody that's preparing for a more senior leadership role, look at a blend between Jessica in The Suits, and also look at a blend between also not Olivia but Annalise in How to Get Away with Murder. But standing at a career threshold, sometimes you need to channel certain aspects of these women in terms of how decisive they were, how bold they were, how disruptive they were, how intellectual they were. So don't think that you are one size fits all. Yes, some women will say, I definitely am a Jessica all through and all through. I'm definitely a cookie lion, which is great. But sometimes let's just look at our own leadership style and how we show up in the world, how we show up in our businesses, in our corporate settings, and make sure that you own that, you align yourself with your own personality. Okay, so this is your reminder. You don't need to become louder, you don't need to become colder. Okay guys, the light is changing here. Do not become colder, you don't need to become someone else. You need to know, you need to own how you already lead and sharpen it. Okay, so I wanted to give you some of the tips because I was like, I watched these, and then there's more. I didn't mention other people that I look up to in these series, but there's a lot of more people you can actually relate to, right? So before I close, tell me, which leadership archetype or personality do you resonate with, and which one are you stepping into next? If this resonated, like, subscribe, and share. This is influence, this is authority, this is about owning your place in this life and the spaces that you are part of. I hope this video was fun. I hope it resonated with you, because I was thinking to myself yesterday, there are a couple of women in these corporate streets that I'm not really looking up to. But if I look at some of the series that I've watched, who do I look up to? And yeah, some of these women that I've shared, not limited to. But again, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you guys for this fun segment, something different. I'm thinking of having more of these sessions where I share with you some of the personality types, not just personality types, how to show up. You know, having worked in corporate for the past 15 years, I think I have something to share which will help those who are coming up to actually channel themselves in terms of preparation. But thank you for tuning in. Bye.